everybody. It's your local, peaceful, wonderful body mind expert. And tonight, I'm here to talk about regulating your nervous system again because that's what I love to talk about. I really do because it's going to change the world if we can get everybody kind of on board about learning how to regulate their nervous system. So, what is this all about? So, I'll give you a good example. Okay, so I've been growing my practice, as you can tell if you've been following. I've had this, I've been on fire with this message and with the healing work that I did with myself and how I really did some great work with my brain and how I've been sharing it with all my coaching clients. And so you've been watching and on board with understanding why the nervous system is so important to being healthy. So I'm growing and I'm looking at a checklist for the next program that I'm going to do. And my heart is just pounding in my chest and I can't quite breathe. And it's not like a panic attack, but it's, as an empath, as a kinesthetic empath, I can feel these things. I can feel what's going on. I can feel I've got resistance. I can feel I've got tension. And I know all my life I've avoided stuff like that, looking at looking at legal documents and spreadsheets. And it wasn't that way my entire life, but at some point in time, I became almost afraid of looking at those kind of numbers. And so whenever I would, it would always be a bit of a push. I always had to, or I'd find ways to avoid it or ignore it or find someone else to do it or just not bother with it. But it's unavoidable, isn't it? Having to look at spreadsheets eventually if you're running a business. Having to look at the numbers, having to look at, just so you know, it's important to be intimate with what's going on in your business and practice. And so I'm looking at this and I have this tight chest. And so I put on my Brainwave entrainment music, which is music you can find on YouTube or you can buy albums about it, and it keeps your brainwaves level. In fact, I just bought a fun little device called Alpha Stim. And it's where it uses magnetic waves and magnetic resonance in order to bring your brain into an alpha state, where so you don't have to entrain through sound waves, you can entrain through electricity, through vibration. It's really neat. I'm so excited to get it, and then I'll share with everybody how it works and how it feels. But that's what I mean. You recognize what's going on when there's tension, something that you're avoiding, when there's something that you don't like, and you don't power through it. Instead, you wait for it to pass and you help it pass. You encourage it to pass by listening to brainwave entrainment music, or, when I get my little Alpha Stim thing, putting that on for 20 minutes, or doing specific acupressure points, or doing specific havening, or doing NET exercises. But you do these things until the tension releases. And when you do that, you have the ability, you have the centeredness, you have the clarity to do the things that before had frightened the heck out of you. That's how it works. And then moving forward, it frightens you less and less and less. Because it's natural for us to want to avoid feeling uncomfortable things. But when we avoid it, it puts us in a place of disconnected and a place of not being able to think clearly, and a place where we feel like we're fighting ourselves, constantly fighting ourselves, especially if you're empathic, especially if you're highly sensitive. So you have to get that power and that control back, where you have control over your emotions, where you're controlling your nervous system, where you're getting yourself into an aligned, centered place. Because when you do, you're able to solve most of your problems because you're not stressed out. You're able to see the opportunities. You're in a better place than other people are. So the key is, when you feel uncomfortable about something, to be with it, but not just be with it as if you're being tormented, because you really truly only need to be triggered for a brief amount of time, just so you're activated, so you can access it. For seconds, you only need to be with it, and then you can start reversing it. then you can start bringing the tension down. You can start bringing the stress down, even if you're in the middle of a fight, even if you're in the middle of the most stressful, especially if you're in the middle of your most stressful situation you've ever been in, especially then. These tools keep you centered and grounded. They keep you in a good space. So when you're feeling stressed, you really don't have to feel stressed anymore. And it's not because magically it's all gone poof. It's because you're learning how to take control of your body again so that you don't have to feel stressed and anxious. You're actually choosing intentionally to take control of your own nervous system so that it stops hijacking you and sending you into anger and hurt and frustration and overwhelm and tiredness and sickness and inflammation. It reverses all of that. We can reverse all that by getting your nervous system centered and calm so your body can start to heal itself. So for emotional healing, really the key is to get your nervous system regulated. And when you start doing that, then everything starts to come together physically, mentally, emotionally. You're able to see the world differently. You make different choices. It's really quite beautiful. And so the hardest part is realizing that, yes, you can do this, and yes, it works. And yes, there's thousands of ways that you can regulate your nervous system. The key is just to do it. It's as if we're looking at people who are dying of dehydration while sitting next to a full glass of water. So you can learn how to drink that. You can learn to recognize that you have a full glass of water next to you and you can drink it so that your body can get back up and start moving forward again. That's what regulating your nervous system does. So you don't have to stay there. And it's free, and it's something you can do in 30 seconds or less. And nobody even has to know that you're doing it. It's not some weird thing where you have to stand on your head. And but it's the consistency of it. And if you consistently use these tools right when you get stressed, then everything starts to change around and it starts to grow like a garden. And you feel like you have control over yourself, over your body, because it's not your body controlling you. It's you making the decision of what's right for your body. So if you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed right now, or you know someone who is, I know a lot of women who are watching their daughters or their sons struggle, through this pandemic with their children, being home with them all the time, with the stress of everybody close. Even the best of relationships are having struggles and PTSD and tension. If you know of someone, start using these tools for yourself, start creating environments that help people stay calmer and more level, and start teaching these skills and these tools to the people you love, because we don't want people to suffer, and it's not necessary. And so if you have to be the one that learns how to do this and passes it on, then so be it, because that's what really matters. That's what's most important, is not some grandiose magic wand. It's about helping all of us heal. It's about helping raise all of us up. So if you need to be the one to learn about this so you can pass it on to the people you love in a way that they'll hear you and listen to you and create environments where they can stay more peaceful and they can heal too, then start paying attention to this stuff. Work with me. We're in the middle of a 7-week program now, but we can certainly catch people up, no problem. Otherwise, the next one will be in a couple months. So, or I absolutely coach women one-on-one. So reach out. We'll find some way to get you the information that you need. You can watch these videos. You can ask me to demonstrate any technique. We can do them together. It doesn't matter. I can give you my YouTube channel where everything's right there. We want you to heal. We want you to give yourself the love that you deserve. And by doing that, you'll have the people that you love change and grow too. So, namaste. I hope you have a beautiful evening. Thank you for being here with me. Thanks for this beautiful Friday. And I look forward to seeing you